goddesses. Welcome to another episode of Permission to Be Wealthy. This is going to be fun.
It is.
Strap yourselves in. I've got the best guest ever. We've been so excited to have this conversation, and I'm excited for you to listen in. I have the pleasure of introducing Chelsea, and I'm going to ask her to help me with her last name.
Talamantes.
Ooh, it just sounds...
That's as spicy as I get with it.
This just sounds so spicy. All right. Chelsea is the owner of CK&Co, and her greatest joy is helping business owners hit their growth goals. We are going to love this conversation because we're all about growing and creating wealth. She will celebrate all your wins with you and be your sounding board when you're feeling a little crazy, because she knows being an entrepreneur ain't easy. And we know that too. She's one of those people that just can help you figure out how to get seen and be noticed in all the right places. But here's the thing that I'm the most intrigued to learn about her. How the heck does she do all that? And she's got 3 young boys. So let us dive right in. As a woman who is right now running your own business, cheering on all of your clients, doing massive things for them in their businesses, and running a family with 3 young boys. I think you told me yesterday your oldest is 5 years old. God bless you. How would you define wealthy? And we agreed we're going to keep it real now. Like, how would you define wealthy at this moment in your life?
Okay, so wealthy is not just financial. It's definitely a time thing. And I am fortunate to love what I do, but there's definitely moments where I am more than exhausted, right? Like I am just like so exhausted and pulled in so many directions. Wealthy to me means being able to make enough and funnel that through to the right people so that I'm paying them what they deserve so that I can have help on my side. I don't think that anybody can do it on their own. Like, I just don't believe that. I don't believe that you can get to where you need to be all by yourself. You have to have people around you that are amazing, and you want to be able to give to those people and let them live lives of abundance as well. So I definitely think that for me, wealthy is making sure, of course, like my kids are in the school that they want to, having the time at the end of the day to still be able to spend with them, having the time to have those high touch points with my clients, and having execution for them that's just so beautiful because I made enough to give enough. So yeah.
I wish you could all see my faces right now. I made enough
to give
enough.
Yeah. Nobody wants to live in a place of, I just don't have it. And it's a terrible feeling. And in this growth phase, I still have those moments where I hit that wall. I just had a moment this week where I had to make a decision to cut back on something that I didn't want to cut back on. And getting to that place of being able to funnel wealth to the world around me is really what I want the most. I want my clients to feel wealthy. I want my people on my team to be wealthy. I want my babysitter to be wealthy. Like, I want everybody to feel it around me.
Right? I want the babysitter and the house cleaner to be very wealthy from me.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, because everybody means something, right? Like, I cannot do it without the world around me.
The thing that I love about getting to meet people on the show is every person contributes like to our definition of wealth. And I think that we all sit in our own bubble, and we have this definition that says, everybody wants to be wealthy, right?
Right.
And it's like, well, when I think of being wealthy, I think of this amount of money in the bank, or this, number in my retirement account.
Yeah.
Probably even being able to do this.
Right.
But every person that I've had the chance to talk to adds like such dimension and layers to help us consider our own definition of wealth. And the thing that you just gave us, thank you, is time.
Yeah.
In my definition of wealth, it includes time. And making enough to get the support that I need so I can have time.
Yeah. Because I don't want to do less or be smaller because I didn't have enough time. And the only way that I can be as big in life as I want to be is by having the support to handle some other things so that I have that time. does that make sense?
I have goosebumps under my sweater right now.
I think I don't know if that makes
Is
sense
it
coming out of my
appropriate
mouth,
to
but
squeeze her while we're on this podcast? I don't want to be less.
I don't want to be less because I didn't have enough time.
Wow. Are you all writing that?
Yeah.
Because I didn't have enough time.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I teach people, you know, when people get like all weird about money and wanting more money, and we had a conversation about this, like,
Yeah.
it's wrong to just, I feel guilty about the fact that I desire to have more wealth. And I said, you know, one of the greatest reasons besides all of the beautiful things that you just shared with us about why we want to be wealthy so we can make others wealthy, like, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Of course, God wants us to do that.
Yeah.
But, you know, like, I really strongly stand for, I want to use money to buy time.
Yeah. And you can, right?
Yeah.
People say it can buy happiness, but it can buy time.
And
yeah.
Oh, Lord, we're going to go down a super deep rabbit hole. But you're absolutely right. It can buy time.
Yeah.
And that's what people don't realize when they chant, time is money, time is money, time is money. And then we get stuck in this paradigm of let me use my time to chase money.
So what if time is money, but what if money is time?
What if money bought you time?
Yeah. And it does.
It does.
It does.
And not enough people are talking about that.
Yeah. And I understand, like, you have to work hard. Absolutely. I bust my ass. So, like, I do. Like,
we are going to convert her to wealth with ease.
We talk about how I have 3 kids. I have a business that I run.
Yeah.
I pride myself on being high touch and responsive, highly responsive to my clients because I'm in marketing, right?
Yeah.
Do you know how many people I hear, well, they launched my ads account and then I never heard from them.
Yeah.
Or they launched my funnel and it was hard to get a hold of them. I hear that all the time, right? I'm here to coach you and cheer you on. And like, it's not always easy to run a business. Like, I'm here to be in your corner.
Yeah.
So I'm high touch to my clients. I'm high touch for my kids. I have dinner to cook at night. The only way that I can make it all happen is like, is making the money to get you the support you need. So you can have the high touch with your clients, right? Right.
And you're not trying to iron the clothes and respond to email and clean the house and
that's
have the baby on your arm.
That's how it goes.
Right.
Yeah, that's how it goes.
I've got to get support for these other things so I can, in that block of time, be there for my client, then have the time and space to be there for my kid.
And not only that, but when I'm living in chaos because I don't have enough help, my clients feel it and then my business is impacted.
Okay, goddesses. So we're going to really pause for a moment and we're going to add this to our definition of wealth and what we're striving for. I made enough money so that I can give enough and so that I can have enough time.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That is the highest value.
Yeah.
I love it. One of the things that you said was we were going to keep it real and talk about the definition of wealthy and the shoulds from our parents.
Okay.
Can you share a little bit about that?
Yeah, I just had this moment as I was packing and I was telling my husband, my mom. So I have an immigrant dad, which he doesn't seem very immigrant to me.
Okay.
He's been here since he was 18 and he worked so hard to have everything that he had. And he has, a beautiful home. He has a beautiful family. He's in such a good place. And he always worked really, really, really hard. And he was always there to give, but he wasn't always high, right?
Yeah,
He wasn't
high touch.
And now I call him 6 times a day. He's retired and he can't get rid of me. But he's probably like, can I go back to work?
Yeah.
Stop calling me. But my mom graduated. They were divorced when I was 2.5. My mom graduated magna cum laude.
Okay.
Brilliant. Could sell anything to anyone. She would get a job. She would spike to director of sales within a couple weeks. Everybody could just see it in her. 5'9", bright red hair, green eyes, just gorgeous and so just could wow any room, right?
Yeah.
Brilliant. Magna cum laude, master's degree. She's got a degree in communication. She's got just degrees in counseling, degrees in anything that you could possibly think of. But she got an addiction when I was probably about 10 years old. And I watched her, somebody who was really smart and really brilliant, not be able to hold a job, get cars repoed, hawk things so that she could pay for things. Wow. My dad would give her I told you I was going to get transparent. Like my dad would give her child support. She would go blow it on stuff that she shouldn't blow it on.
Right.
And he was working so hard to give her what he thought she needed. And she was hiding so much from him and what she was actually doing with it. So I watched this complete destruction of this woman. And I never wanted to be that for my kids. Like, I want my kids to see me, and I want them to see me provide, and I want them to see me work hard and stand up tall and be able to give and contribute. I never want them to feel like they have to ask the church to donate meals or, you know what I mean? And it's weird because it wasn't like that was my whole life, because I did have my dads that I could go to for refuge. My great grandma actually stepped in to help raise me. And she was like this whole different paradigm of this strong woman who'd been on her own for 50 years in her 90s and like had her own home. And like she would step in and like try to help. So it's like this, like, I got to see 3 different worlds growing up. I got to see this woman who could have been anything and turned the world on its head and destroyed her whole life and needed donated food and needed donated everything and was in abuse shelters in and out of them and stuff, right? So I watched her just like total self-destruction and not be able to provide for her family. I saw my dad work as hard as he possibly could to do everything that he possibly could, but probably didn't get to enjoy as much as he actually would have liked to. And I saw my great grandma, this like pillar of strength, who was taking care of this little kid in her 80s. And taking care of her own home and taking care of all of this stuff. And even till the last day being so strong and deciding like, okay, if I have kids, I want them to see me as that strength, but not so strong that I can't lean on anybody. So yeah, it definitely put into perspective like what wealth is to me, what I do want my kids to see, what I don't want my kids to see, and what like as a strong woman I really want to be when I grow up. Yeah.
I think there's a lot of us that are dealing with like I want to say dichotomy, but it's like 3, right? You've got whatever the version of dichotomy that 3 is. And but we all have like these different aspects of how our definition of wealth has been influenced during our lives. And for us to be really cautious of, one of the things that I realized recently is in my definition of wealth, some of it is trauma inspired, let's just say. Right? I am actually really wanting to include this in my definition of wealth, not from a place of expansiveness, but from a place of fear and trauma from the past. And like, I never want to experience that ever again. So, but we have to be aware of it, because sometimes when we include that, we pull in the energy of the trauma behind it, and that's a whole other topic we can go off of. But I think just being aware, like I'm making this choice to include this in my definition of wealth. And where is it based? And I'm going to use that to inspire me, but I'm going to leave the trauma behind.
But there's a security in my definition of wealth, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
like wealth adds this level of security
and safety, which you never had, right? Which was like with your mom. Like I really want, in my definition of wealth and why I'm choosing to have it, these aspects of it be so important to me is really because I want the safety that it provides.
Absolutely. It's not necessarily, and I think it's beautiful to have high-end luxury items or things that like traditional wealth might equate to, right? Like the Louis Vuitton or whatever. I think that stuff is beautiful, but for me, it's safety first. Like what safety does it give to my family? And then I can think about the other things. But for me, if I were going to take that money in excess, I would want to invest it into something else that made me even more money. Instead of maybe, those other things.
Like a $3,000 purse. I get you. Okay. So I want to ask you 2 last questions. The first one is, a lot of the goddesses here have families. Have you ever found yourself in a moment where you'd like family or business?
All the time. All the time. I think as women and as moms, if someone's sick, it's not dad calling into work, right? Like if someone needs to, it's moms. We're in the responsive reactive. If the babysitter calls in, dad's not calling in, right? It's us that have got to like figure that out. And so absolutely, there's a lot of times this past year, my husband's father was really sick and ended up passing away. And there was a lot of times where all of us as a family, his sisters, everybody we had to really like put life on the back burner, including them having to take excess time off of work and my business slowing down excessively.
Right.
There was a lot of us having to put family first.
Making sacrifices.
Yeah. So on a large scale, my business took a huge hit September through December, and I'm catching up now.
Yeah.
But looking back on it, those are moments that you're never going to get back in life. You're never going to get it back. And the days where it's just that the babysitter called in or the kid is sick, that's just one day.
Yeah.
Like you can make it up tomorrow, but do I feel the stress in that moment of like, oh my gosh, I have 6 people I have to get back to and a snotty nose and pink eye to take care of? Definitely it's super stressful, but I know that there's always tomorrow.
Yeah.
So
I love that. And one of the things, it's called permission to be wealthy. And I love always reminding our goddesses that you also have permission to prioritize the important things in your life. I have a client right now who's getting married.
Yeah.
This is her dream wedding. She's getting married in Paris. She's got a designer dress.
Beautiful.
Like the whole 9 yards.
Yeah.
And she has a business. And as her coach, I said, stop everything business.
Yeah, just
like
enjoy
you've got
it.
2 months to enjoy the wedding of your dream. It's her second marriage. Like this is everything to her. And it's like business is going to actually, when you come back, it's going to skyrocket.
Yeah.
It's going to go through the roof. But if you like get distracted by business right now and you go into your wedding and you did that, you're going to have that regret forever.
Yeah.
So thank you for reminding us of that and giving ourselves permission to prioritize the things that are important. Wealth and creating wealth and abundance is always going to be available. All right, last question.
Okay.
Wealth with impact requires visibility. What's your number one visibility to the right crowd? Because you're big on to the right crowd. So what's your number one visibility to the right crowd tip?
Okay, so define quickly for me, because I think we only have 4 minutes.
Yep.
Define what does wealth with impact really mean?
Yeah. So for me, and I'll use myself as an example.
Yeah.
I could absolutely buy a ton of ads on Instagram, Facebook, and go out there and sell a lot of salesy things and get a lot of clients. There's a formula. It's easy to do it and to be successful. Right? I want to go to bed every night. And my prayer, I'll start with my prayer every morning. Is God, use me to deliver your message to change the people's lives that I'm here to serve.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so for me, in my definition of wealth, it is that whatever I did, I invested in, whether it's my time or my resources, it allows me to reach the people that I'm here to reach and to change their life. And so I can have wealth because that does, right?
Yeah.
I'm being paid to serve those people.
Right.
But I also have impact.
So I think that this is not a digital marketing thing.
Yeah.
This isn't even a marketing thing. It's that prayer that you have every morning. Because when you're praying to be seen by the right people, it's not even your responsibility anymore. It's in God's hands. Right? So it's not even in your responsibility. You're praying for the right people. And because you have the heart to serve, you're going to be given the people to serve. Now, with that being said, it's definitely not walking into anything. I'm so sick of seeing templated stuff. I'm so sick of seeing if you just fill out these 3 questions, then you're going to make $1 million. 1 landing page, $50 in ads, you're rich. It does not work that way. You have to actually have a servant's heart. You have to care about your audience. Your audience is not in the same place as somebody else's. So you're doing podcasts. Someone else might be doing Facebook and Instagram. Right. Someone else might be doing TikTok, right? Yeah. Someone else might be picking up a magazine and reading it. So it's really figuring out where is the people that I have a servant's heart for. What are they doing in their downtime? What are they doing in their downtime? And then how do I kind of get seen in that area? And then it's not doing a sales pitch with every single post that you ever do. Yeah. But definitely engaging. And I think that asking questions, making it about them and not about us. So it's great if they can see themselves in us or see themselves in our story. Yeah. But at the end of the day, if we're here to serve them, it's about them. It's not about us. We're not just giving one big long life story all the time. It's also about you and what I can do for you. And here's some advice on maybe a turn that you can take. And that's so much more impactful than just come buy my course.
I told you this was going to be good. This has been so amazing. I love, actually, you gave us a 2-for-1, right? Have a servant's heart.
Yeah.
If you really want to create wealth with impact and you want to amplify your visibility, is start with having a servant's heart.
Yeah.
And it's about them.
It is.
as you're striving to be seen and all the things that we're told we should do, remember that it's about them
Yeah.
and serving them. Thank you, thank you,
Yeah.
thank you, thank you,
Thank you.
Chelsea. All
Thank you.
right.